CVZ here on Belshir Beach. As we fade it out, over here on the left side of the map, your yellow Terran player, sheeit. Possibly about some lady named Iet, possibly. Over here on the right side of the map, your red Zerg player, TheRedComet. He did really well in our 12-man free-for-all last week. I obviously stick to my opening build, Herpicus, because the timings on those opening builds are very delicate things that are very well refined. But after that, I tend to go based on feelings. Like, I'll stick to a rough 2-gate robo if it helps me get the unit comp that I want, you know, or a 3-gate. I tend to like to get my robo pretty quick because I like to start working Colossi in early. That way, if I lose a Colossus, it's not as big of a deal, you know, as I take my second. So, while I'm getting started up over here for sheeit. That's possibly maybe some kind of a different language. It's a good-looking cupcake I'm about to eat. It's half-eaten, which kind of makes me mad that I was brought a half-eaten cupcake, but I've had cupcakes from these Susie Cakes people before. They're pretty good. They're pretty heavy, but they're pretty good. Delicious. Oh no, I don't follow build orders to the supply. Early, like the very earliest stuff, I follow to the supply. I make sure I get it, but I'm sort of, I think, to the point now where it's like I'm comfortable knowing when I want the stuff, what my unit count should be, and you know how many workers I should get. I tend to not overdrone too much. It's one of those things. When I started playing, I was very much all about hitting, you know, being concerned that I hit the right timing and things like that, and you know, making sure that I absolutely have this or that at this supply. And I wasn't very good, honestly, because I was so worried about, like, once you start to hit your mid game that way. Like, the absolute openings, like Supply Depot on 10, Barracks on 12, you know, Gas on 13, those things are important, especially per specific builds. You know, like, they're just good general openings. Obviously, you skip the gas in certain situations and stuff like that, but once you start getting past that super early gate, like 14 pool, 14 hatch, those are timings that you have to stick to because they're super important. But once you move into the mid-game, it's a lot more about feel, I think. And I used to try to be like, okay, well, I've mastered, you know, 10 depot, 12 racks, 13 gas, 15 orbital. Now what do I do? You know, I don't know what to do now. Like, I don't understand where's the rest of the build order. What is this prescribing? So I think the super early stuff, knowing your timings, is obviously very important so that you can fend off cheese, you know, for builds that are able to do that and things like that. But after that, it's really a lot about feel to me. So 1-1-1 opening for sheeit. Possibly going for medevac here. He's building out quite a few Marines and not really saving up a whole lot of gas. So that doesn't really read as a Banshee open, especially with the 1-1-1. So that's what it's looking like. Yeah. It's like you said, in Bronze and Silver, it's hard to do. I mean, it's something that'll naturally come to you as feel as you just play more games, you know. Like, I know my opening numbers, but if you ask me what supply you get your second gateway and your robo on, like, I just know when I feel like I'm in a good spot with workers, you know, I've got my warp gate research on the way. I get my robo, I get my second gateway if I'm going 2-gate robo or something like that. Single Hellion, not going to do a whole lot here. Going to put a little bit of hurt on a couple of workers, but there's Queen roaming around at each base, so he should be in pretty good position. Got this Spine Crawler in good position, as well as the other Spine Crawler, so sheeit going to be pulled back there. Is going Tech Labs here, so he is going for some Banshees, possibly Cloak. Does have a medevac out already, though, so might be thinking about pushing with those Marines as he gets a tech lab up over here. Still building out Hellions, but only attacking in really sort of one at a time. Now does have two sitting over there, but with plenty of spine crawlers around for TheRedComet, he is in pretty good position. TheRedComet doesn't have an Evo chamber out, I don't think. Yeah, no Evo chamber around there anywhere. And she's going to be pushing in with Marines and Hellions this time. Still going to have a hard time getting through there. It takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a worker. Ling's going to come out, get a pretty good surround here, but there are a lot of Hellions and a lot of Marines standing there, and I believe that Queen's going to go down. Crawler might not have time to get up here. Looks like that Crawler's going to go down. There are 2 Crawlers up over here, 3 Crawlers total. This one re-burrowing, though, not enough Marines left, really, to get anything done. Single Marine in there, but there are a bunch of things loaded up in that drop ship. They are dropping in fairly scattershot positions and plenty of spines in there for TheRedComet. Going to make sure that minimal damage is done overall. He is working on his Banshees now. Got a single Banshee out already. No Cloak coming down just yet. Has switched over to Siege Tanks. Sorry about that. Seasonal allergies absolutely killing me today. I'm normally not that bad with them, man, but whatever today. I've been sneezing all day, so if you hear me go dead silent for a minute, hopefully it's not during a fight or anything. It's probably because I'm sneezing my brain out. So, got this medevac sitting over here. Hopefully he doesn't forget about it. That's a good chunk of minerals to just forget about. Looks like he's going to be pushing out now with cloak-free Banshees and tons of Queens on the field. This really would have been a time that the cloak really would have paid for itself. No Spore Crawlers coming up just yet. Imagine he will get a couple after these Banshees get in here, but those Banshees just flying straight across, not trying to be secretive at all. She had really not paying a lot of attention to the map. Going to get himself a free Queen there, as this second Queen for TheRedComet not going to come over and help him out. Looks like that will be enough to turn sheeit around. Not really sure why he's not pressing the issue here a little bit more. Spore Crawlers are on the way up now to help defend. Going to have some pretty open space here at the back, I believe, even with the Spore Crawler up and running. Banshee's coming over to check for a third base. No third base as such. Got 3 racks, a factory, and a starport. So looks like he's doing a pretty light Marine Siege Tank medevac build with some harass out front there. Didn't get a whole lot of harass done. There is a Spire on the way up. Spore Crawler right there. Spire coming up right there. And TheRedComet looks pretty well defended against anything that's really going to be able to make its way in. These Banshee's going to be able to make it around in the back, and that is pretty much the one spot he has. It's not really particularly well defended. TheRedComet pulling those workers out of there, sending the Queen over. Queen going to be enough to run that pair of Banshees off, and nice to see sheeit not over-committing there. He's pretty good overall. Got himself a Banshee out. Let's take a quick look at the Army supply there. 28 Army supply and worker supply lead for sheeit. Army supply now even up as possibly TheRedComet taking the lead by 1 or 2 there as he workers up like a madman. Again, hasn't gotten a whole ton of damage done overall. That Queen gonna just get murdered. Now the Spine Crawler gonna be the victim of some absolute murder right there. Queen almost dying. Spine Crawler gonna pop up, run away. The Banshee's gonna fly around. Third Banshee coming in, and sheeit in a pretty good position to do a lot of damage here. Only got Lings out right now. The Spire is up. 7 Mutas on the way out. That should help run off those Banshees pretty nicely there. Got a Baneling Nest on the way up as well. TheRedComet could have a little bit of trouble here. He's starting to dip behind in the supply pretty significantly there. sheeit playing a very solid macro game. 97 of 102 to 74 of 76. Got an Overlord on the way out. sheeit going to be looking for a spot to poke in. Going to find that all he has is a big old bucket of Mutas who are going to come and destroy all of those Banshees for absolutely free. Free Banshee Day. That's my favorite day of the week. Free Banshee Day. I love it when them Zergs are giving away some Banshees. Overlord still just sitting in here. sheeit perfectly content not to bring his Marines over and take care of that Overlord. Going to be putting some Marines in the mineral line there, just to try to defend here. Banshees Mutas are on the way over. to try to hit that mineral line. Something that's going to be super important for RedComet right now. Got 4 Ovies on the way out to get himself a nice little supply breathing room. There, that Ovi looks like it might get run out now, and going to be a good thing. Marine's in good position there for sheeit, going to keep the muted damage to a minimum. Marines actually finding other mutas on their way in. Such a sad sight watching 3 of those mutas just fall for no real reason there. Really losing those mutas. Huge for the Zerg player mutas. Fairly expensive unit, fairly gas heavy. At the moment, however, RedComet not really going with a super gas heavy build overall, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. As you can see, still floating 600 gas and not quite so many minerals. Should probably get himself a 3rd base here pretty soon, up at the 15-minute mark. Both of them really ought to start taking a look there. Looks like sheeit comfortable with the damage he did to those mutas. Going to try and push out here. A couple of siege tanks going to get caught off guard. Are there enough mutas? Doesn't look like there are enough mutas. Those tanks not going to be too bothered by it, but fairly low on the Marine count. Medevac coming in a bit early there, and looks like that Banshee going to be enough to distract while the Marines and siege tanks pull up the rear. That Medevac going to get taken out, though, so those Marines in a very dangerous spot right now. Going to be taking out those rocks to give them a nice wide area to work in. Those mutas are going to come around, try to get some free siege tanks. They'll get at least 1, 2, no, 3 siege tanks so far. Marines are going to manage to run them off. They're going to poke back in, get some more free siege tanks, and right now, sheeit causing himself a whole lot of damage. Going to be losing more siege tanks here. The Banes get the surround on the siege tank with the Lings. Didn't even need the Banes, and there goes the rest of his army. Sheeit going to have to be producing constantly. RedComet needs to fix his supply block situation, though. Supply blocked at 100 right now. He managed to pull sheeit back down into the sort of danger zone, if you will. Got 4 Ovies on the way out now for RedComet. Finally going to be fixing that supply block situation, but that is a fairly serious time to be supply blocked. I will not be doing a 12-player free-for-all this week. I might do a free-for-all. I don't know. It depends on what kind of time I have. I got some stuff I have to do this evening. Depends on how long we go, guys. And you guys know that I love hanging out and helping out. Before those missile turrets get up, RedComet going to get in here and cause so much trouble. Going to get those mules, those missile turrets, and a bunch of SCVs. Those mules, such big gets right there. Plenty of mutas in there, going to run off now as the Marines come rolling in. Not quite to a mass of mutas that will be able to deal with a Marine group that large. But again, no medevacs coming out of this starport for sheeit. That could be his biggest problem right there. One of those things that people I don't think realize very often is that Marines without medevacs are very fragile. Even with medevacs, they can be very, they can be very hard to hold on to. But looks like